bring content to life. So how do you do this? Well, videos are great. YouTube, watch the channels before you just sit your kids down in front of them. Living books were a game changer with my kids. They didn't always sit still, like I talked about with the literature-based approach, but I found that when they were eating, they were good listeners because they were a captive audience. So I often did our read out louds during lunch, and then I just ate later during their free time. We did a lot of experiments, a lot of field trips, found that our our state historical society was an incredible value for the money because it gave us access to all of these different sites all over our state. And I would call ahead of time, being the parent of kids on the spectrum, and say, when are the groups coming and when are days when you don't have groups coming? Because that's the day we're coming. And they were always so good to let me know when school groups or other groups were planning on coming to their sites. Christmas was amazing. All of these historical houses were decorated for the time period or within the custom of the heritage that was represented in the house. So yeah, there's just so much out there. And experiments, I know they're messy. They eventually do go out of your kitchen, but your kids will remember these things. There was one thing that I did with my kids, and I want to tell you this story because it really tells you the value of investing ahead of time and planning out something in how it cuts down in the amount of time you actually have to teach. So we're going to teach my kids about communism. And that is a very complicated topic to really grasp. And so what we did, and this was a suggestion from the unit study I was using. I'm not always this creative. And they said, well, have a communist lunch. And so I bought all of these amazing foods with the typical foods that we would have for lunch. And I put out a smorgasbord, told my kids they could put whatever they wanted on their plates. And then we'd sit down. We were going to say prayers. And then as we sat down and finished our prayers, I said, I am Mother Russia, give me your plates. And I took most of the things off of their plates and gave them back very little. And my kids started to cry. They hold me to this day to this, and they are 25, 23, and 17. That this was the most horrible lunch they've ever had. But I can tell you one thing. They have never forgot what communism is and what really a sacrifice it is to the government for the work that you do. So my kids got that. That was so quick to get a concept that usually goes way over and above kids' heads at their age. So just know that bringing content to life has an incredible value in making long-term impressions with various concepts, and also in just connecting with your kids and helping them to deeply embed information. Like I said, singing is a great thing. Teaching your kids to debate, that can go against you too, because they can become really good at arguing with you. Acting out things. So if a child just seems like, I don't understand this, well, let's get up. Let's act it out. Let's see what it would feel like to be this person or in this scenario. I got a lot of aha moments with one of my kids who was very hands-on and needed to move his body in order to engage with the topic. Building structures, journaling, arts and crafts, of course, and then creative writing, poetry. Poetry you have to really concentrate those words, and some kids just are really drawn to that. But don't limit it when you first start, because you just do not know what's going to just connect with your kids. Try it out. If it doesn't work, well, again, it was an experiment move on, and try something new. And instead of trying to beat yourself up, well, this didn't work. And again, this isn't going to cost you much money because you're just trying out little things here and there. You're not investing in a whole new curriculum every time you try something. So just bring that content to life.